about energy independence for decades. Since Richard Nixon, we've been talking about it every year. The president gets up and in his State of the Union address says, we are going to free ourselves from dependence from foreign oil. You know what's happened since 1973? Oil imports, no, something's happened. Oil imports have gone up. Gas prices have gone up. Profits of ExxonMobil have gone up. We know that the status quo in Washington just won't do. Not this time. Not this year. We can't keep playing the same Washington game with the same Washington players and somehow expect a different result, because it's a game that ordinary Americans are losing.
U.S. National Security Advisor Brzezinski flew to Pakistan to set about rallying resistance.
That's what happens when lobbyists set the agenda, and that's why they won't drown out your voices anymore when I am President of the United States of America.
The way we're going to win over the long term is not just militarily. We've got to win over hearts and minds. And what that means is we've got to invest in countries that have no educational infrastructure, have no means for young people to get ahead. We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
On the Afghan border near the Khyber Pass, he urged the soldiers of God to redouble their efforts.
We know of their deep belief in God, and we are confident that their struggle will succeed. That land over there is yours. You'll go back to it one day, because your fight will prevail, and you'll have your homes and your mosques back again, because your cause is right and God is on your side.
The purpose of coordinating with the Pakistanis will be to make the Soviets bleed for as long as possible.
Let's go to the current race for president. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, as you know, have had several recent dust-ups over issues like whether the U.S. should act unilaterally if there were proven intelligence of al-Qaeda in Pakistan, or whether nuclear weapons should be taken off the table in that vein. What's your take on these arguments over foreign policy between these two leading candidates?
I think Obama is clearly more effective and has the upper hand. He has a sense of what is historically relevant and what is needed from the United States in relationship to the world.
And I know how to choose talent and get smart people around me who are capable and independent and bring together a variety of different points of views and then set a vision and move in the same direction.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest.
Number 322?
First of all, he's not the nominee. And, look, I look forward...
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
And we'll be watching. Be safe on the campaign trail. John Kerry, thanks for joining us. And we'll be right back.
With the Cold War, we had a worldview. Republican and Democratic presidents alike, from Harry Truman to George Bush, stood for freedom and stood for certain propositions that would make America strong and healthy and grow the middle class and shrink poverty and stand against communism. And after 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order, and instead it looks like we got a lot of disorder. And we still, and after 9/11, we've been more sensitive to the
Word about the president. For 7.5 years, I've worked alongside him, and I'm proud to have been his partner. And we've had triumphs. We've made some mistakes. We've had some setbacks.
Now, it doesn't doesn't help when you put my cousin, Dick Cheney, in charge of energy policy in the White House. That doesn't help. We've been hiding that for a long time.
It's good to be back at the Council on Foreign Relations. As Pete mentioned, I've been a member for a long time and was actually a director for some period of time. I never mentioned that when I was campaigning for re-election back home in Wyoming.
Everybody's got a black sheep in the family.
Have taken that one step farther, saying the Obama campaign seems dangerously close to becoming a cult of personality. He takes the stage and his supporters go wild, cheering, some crying, some shouting, "I love you."
And my faith in the American people has been vindicated because they are ready for change.
Then something woke you, didn't it? Was it a dream? What was it?
I heard a strange noise.
What was it?
Many political observers say they've never seen anything like it. Thousands wait in line to see him. And it seems with every speech, they always latch on to Obama's 3 favorite words.
Yes, we can.
What did you see, Clarice? What did you see?
Lambs. They were screaming. Obama's supporters wildly respond, chanting enthusiastically along with their candidate. But it's a scene some increasingly find not inspirational, but creepy.
In other words, when you start, blogging about Barack Obama, why just go ahead and worship him? And I think this was the idea behind a new sculpture. Thank you. That was indeed a segue. A new sculpture of Obama as Jesus. Listen.
LA Times columnist Joel Stein calls this Obama outpouring Obamaphilia, although he admits he's fallen for it too. Others call it cult-like. Conservative columnist David Brooks compares Obama to a messiah and his supporters to members of the Hare Krishna. Obama does talk policy, but Berkeley's George Lakoff says at this moment in time, Democrats want something different. Yes, we can may sound empty, but Lakoff says voters understand it intuitively.
Welcome back to the most news in the morning. The government taking a big new step, looking to build a huge database of people's physical characteristics. The FBI is taking on $1 billion project to gather fingerprints, palm patterns, even digital pictures of faces. Eventually, it could expand to include iris patterns, face shape patterns, scars, even information about how you walk and talk. It's called biometrics.
And what we'd like to be able to do, too, as these other biometrics mature, we want to have a system that can allow those to be stored and searched as well, be it iris, facial, voice, whatever the biometric, DNA, whatever the biometric that comes down the road, we need to be able to plug that in and play.
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.
A Social Security card that can be forged for $40.
Right.
We propose that everybody, every American, citizen, legal immigrant, gets a non-forgeable employment card, a national employment card. It has a little chip in there that you can't forge that matches the retina of your eye.
Now,
every employer would have to swipe the card through a little machine like a credit card machine. When someone applied for a job, it would have their picture on it, of course.
Right.
And if the computer said they're a citizen,
I got it.
or they're
I got it,
illegal,
Senator. I got it. I think I got it.
But here's the other part. If the employer doesn't swipe the card or hires him anyway, first time, a $50,000 fine. Second time, jail.
Lambs. They were screaming.
They were slaughtering the spring lambs.
They were screaming.